Right now, the United States Supreme Court is about to hear a case, two cases involving Harvard University and the University of North Carolina. Two cases involving Harvard University and the University of North Carolina. The question before the United States Supreme Court is whether or not race-conscious admissions policies are unconstitutional. Is it constitutional for PWIs to consider race and cultural factors in their admissions process? I hope Deion Sanders is listening. I hope Deion and all you Negroes who don't realize what a mistake he made, I hope y'all listening. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing a case on whether racial consciousness in admissions decision, can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Guess who's bringing the lawsuit? Asian Americans. Asian Americans. Asian Americans. Where are those black people who were supporting the anti-Asian hate? Where are those black people who were supporting the anti-Asian hate? What about anti-blackness by Asian Americans? What about anti-blackness by Asian Americans? What about anti-blackness from Asian Americans? And guess who's funding the Asian lawsuit? Guess who's funding the Asian lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court? The Asian lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court is being funded by white conservatives. Candace Owens' friends. Candace Owens' friends, her conservative buddies, they put $8 million into a lawsuit for Asians to challenge the constitutionality of race-conscious admissions policies at PWIs. I'm going to think about that. Oh, yeah. White racist conservatives have spent $8 million to finance the Asians' fight before the Supreme Court to eliminate race as a factor in college decisions of admissions. Harvard University, University of North Carolina is the test case. If the Supreme Court overturns a 2016 decision that they made stating that race can be used as one of many factors in college admissions, in 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court said race can be used as one of many factors in college admissions, that student diversity is important. That's what the Supreme Court said in 2016. That's what the Supreme Court said in 2016. That's what the Supreme Court, they said you can use race as one of many factors in 2016. But guess what? The white man is funding the yellow man to eliminate the black man from the PWI. Did you hear me, Deion Sanders? Deion Sanders, did you hear me? Deion Sanders, let me say it so Deion Sanders can understand me. The white man is funding the yellow man to remove the black man from the white college. Let me say it one more time, so you Negropeans can understand, overstand, and understand me. Let me say it one more time. The white man is funding the yellow man to gentrify the black man out of the white college. That means if Judge Uncle Clarence Thomas, if Judge Clarence Uncle Tom asks, and the conservatives of the Supreme Court, if they overturn The 2016 decision. I want every black person to hear me right now. I didn't get a chance to say this on the Breakfast Club today because I was late. No blame on Envy, no blame on Charlemagne. But I want every black high school student to hear me. I want every black parent to hear me. I want all black people to hear me. If the Supreme Court overturns their 2016 decision to allow race as a factor in college when your child applies to a predominantly white institution, the color of their skin, the legacy of racism, the fact that Africans built this country will not be considered at all. Listen to what the Asians are saying. Listen to what the Asians and their white handlers are saying. The name of the organization is Students for Fair Admissions. Go and do your research on SFFA. Hashtag SFFA. Students for Fair Admissions. Hashtag SFFA. Students for Fair Admissions. Somebody please hashtag that for your brother. It's a movement started by a white racist, Edward Blum. B-L-U-M. Somebody go look up Edward Blum. B-L-U-M, the white man funding the yellow man to push the black man out of the white colleges. Edward Blum, SSFA. Edward Blum is the founder of Students for Fair Admissions. The white man funding the yellow man to push the black man off the white college campus. This is why Dion made a big mistake. According to SSFA, admissions policies at PWIs discriminate against Asians. According to the Asians and their white handlers, they are discriminated against in the personality portion of the admissions process. Listen to me. Discrimination against Asians in subjective portions of the application process. Students for Fair Admissions claims that Harvard University admissions officers hold them to a higher standard by subscribing to the model minority stereotype. Admissions officers at Harvard University hold Asian Americans to a higher standard by subscribing to the model minority stereotype. SSFA claims that despite boasting higher test scores and better grades, although Asians have higher test scores and better grades than any other group, although Asians have higher test scores and better grades than any other group, they are consistently receiving lower rankings on personality traits, according to a statistical analysis paid for by SSFA, where they looked at 160,000 student records. The Asians claim that emphasis on personality significantly undermines qualified Asians. Listen to me, black people. Listen to what they said. Emphasis on personality significantly undermines otherwise qualified Asian American chances of getting in.